So this is a bit of an unexpected live. Um, I just haven't been able to like figure out exactly when I'm coming in and things like that. We're gonna try to do a little bit more wadding stuff today, see how it goes. I'm gonna try to finish it off with you right now. I did not buy any more glue, but I just cut open my glue container and there seems to be a little bit left. So we're gonna try our hardest and get as much done as we can. So, yo, what's up? How are ya? Why is this not showing up on my thing? What's new, Luna? Tell me everything. I want to hear how you're doing. I want to hear blah blah blah. Good. I'm doing. Oh, here we go. Finally, my thing is working now. Good. Glad to hear it. All right, what are we doing first? We'll finish off this little turtle, I think. Oh my God. Yo, how are you guys? It's a party in here right now. Actually, you know what I'm going to try to do is cut the remaining bit of this off. I wish I had scissors or something. And not this like knife that broke on me the other day. Probably would have been smarter for me just to go downtown and buy some glue, but it seemed like a lot of work. And I don't feel like doing it. So, sure is. It's one of our little turtles. Some knife I bought from this dude on Etsy a million years ago. I thought it was a different style. The picture was very misleading. It's nice. They did a Damascus thing. The handle broke on me the other day. Just like came out completely. He didn't make the handle. I might rehandle it at some point, but I won't, Raven. We just did this. Yeah, I know you don't see my face, Luna, because I'm working down here. I got to move around a bunch. I mean, I can bring it up, but then you have to blah 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 blah. Let me grab some pieces. Yeah, it's a pretty blade. Here, there you go, Luna. We can do that. It's a pretty blade and everything. But the knife itself, so I wanted to get a bunker knife, but the photos of it made it seem like it was going to be a different angle. Um, and it was not. So, and it wasn't super expensive, and the guy seemed sweet. He was very like nice, and he was kind of a local, of somewhere in like New York or New Jersey or something like that. So I I just let it go. I think it was only like $60 or something for that knife anyway. So I'm firing kiln tonight. Not my kiln, not the kiln that we're wadding for today. I'm firing the soda kiln tonight, which means I will be up from 12 a.m. till 7 a.m. firing at someone else's studio. I'm not emotionally prepared for it. We were going to do it tomorrow, but I can't do it because it's a 28-hour firing and I have things I need to get done on Wednesday, so I can't actually get it done. But how do I find them? It shows up as a notification that you sent me a video or tagged one in. Oh, are you? Oh man, I'm glad I don't have any reporting. I do too many dangerous things all the time. I saw someone doing this. They were posting about how they do this on every single piece in their electric kiln the other day, which was incredibly confusing to me. Like, why are you going through such an annoying extra step if you're just going to fire an electric kiln? That seemed like such a waste of time and energy and material. I get if you have like a super runny glaze, I guess, but they were doing it on every single piece. It was kind of insane. Of course, yeah, it all just kind of shows up on the thing, and I can just click it from there. I get a little notification. I don't have notifications on, so it's like when if I am on YouTube and I see the my own little bell notification thing that I got something. The only notifications I have on my phone are text messages, phone calls, and if I make a sale. Those are the only three active like things that I have. Otherwise, everything else can wait. I'm not in a rush to do things. So 3 on every single bottom of every single pot. We're just going to do the tall ones first. We're almost done, honestly. We might have to make a little bit more wadding in a sec, but we're getting there. Make more of these little balls, not make the wadding itself. I made enough for this firing and the next firing, and maybe even a little bit for the next firing after that. I made quite a bit of it. Um, Depends on how much I decide to use when I'm actually loading the kiln, because you use the wadding to separate out the kiln shelves to make everything a little bit even. Just makes my life a little bit easier because a lot of my shelves are warped. Something I really need new ones of. We talked about it. I want these new advancer shelves. They just cost a lot of money, and I haven't gone up and bought them yet. $260 after tax shelves, or $270. Um, right? Exactly. I feel the same way. It's like, you know, if someone really needs me for something, they'll call me or text me. And if they don't have my number, they didn't really need me. So, oh, I didn't realize we had a swath of blue right there. That's kind of cool. I'm really excited at a swath of purple. This is not blue. I mean, it is blue, but hopefully it will be purple. Oh, this is going to be this cup right here. I bet you $20 this is going to be a beauty. I can almost guarantee it. There's something about the shape of it, the color. It's been a month. It's been a whole month since I've been streaming. My God, it's only felt like 2 weeks. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you, Luna. I appreciate it. Yeah, you were right there from the beginning. I didn't realize I made my YouTube 2 years ago, and then I put out like 3 videos, and then I completely lost interest in YouTube. And like then I posted a couple of videos last year, and then I immediately lost interest in YouTube, and now we're back. But I'm liking it more now as a live video platform. Again, not the most exciting part about pottery, but it is a necessary step for atmospheric firing. Good. Well, I'm glad you're into them, Luna. So numerically, 1, 2, 3, 4. You just went for the first 4 numbers. Was there any symbolism behind your numerage in your name there when you rechanged it? Was just straight Luna taken? I assume it was. Can be a really cute little pink one. It is 12:58 right now, Luna. in the afternoon. All right, we're making good progress. Okay, so this needs to dry out more. I'm gonna move this over here. I'm gonna move this over here. I'm gonna move this there, this there. JM, what's up? Of course, Sydney. Excuse me. How could I say that? Nice. They are, right? I like the lives so much more. I'm just like not. What did you make in your YouTube video? Or did you make anything? You just talk about stuff? What's the premise? Lives are much more fun. I just am so like I like the interaction aspect. It makes it a lot more fun for me personally to be able to hang out with you guys and have a conversation while we're working than to just like, I don't know, made a well thought out video. I've never really enjoyed the well thought out video things. This has always been more my speed, you know? It's never ending, Sydney. We actually are almost done though, after I just said it's never ending. But I'm gonna fire, like I said, a little bit earlier, I'm gonna fire a soda kiln tonight. It's a 28-hour firing. It's not, none of this stuff is in that firing. That's already bricked up. That kiln's starting up in now. It's starting right now. In a town over from me. I will get there at 12 in the morning, and I will fire it till 7 in the morning, and then I'm going to go home and take a nap, and then I will go back at 2:30 in the afternoon, and then I'll spend a couple hours spraying in soda ash and stuff like that. So, oh, how'd it go? And are you left-handed or are you right-handed? I'm going to make my tennis teachers today serve with their non-dominant hand. Speaking of that, it's easy to tell someone how to do something if you're used to doing it, but it's much harder when you have to learn from scratch yourself. And the lack of understanding that comes with that is kind of nice. Oh man, a nap sounds lovely. Yeah, so the firing that I only had refires. I didn't put a single new piece in there, except for a pendant. There is a teapot pendant in that firing. They're all refries from my last wood firing that were all nice. I had nothing wrong with them. I just think they could have been a little bit more colorful, and I'm hoping that the extra little bit of soda helps. A lot of double-walled bowls. I think there's some double-walled cups, things of that nature. Though, to be honest, I brought that stuff over to her studio about a month ago, and so I actually don't know what's in there. Well, and speaking of glaze, these pieces were the ones we sprayed in soda ash, and then we dipped the same day with the Shino. I'm sorry, sprayed on the underglaze, and a lot of it has been cracking off. The Shino's on the inside because it was too moist to deal with. But I'm not going to correct it. I'm not going to mess with it because I want the Shino to crack because I think it's going to be a really cool look. If it wasn't Shino, I would redo it. But oh, nice, awesome. That's fantastic. It's different, right? Yeah, I taught myself years ago to throw left-handed just to teach people how to throw left-handed because I kept running into a lot of left-handed people. It's a nice thing to have to do. I'm not good at it, but that sounds really fun. Did you guys and you all posted them to your YouTube's channels? Or I guess I assume you guys all talked about this on the Discord. Like I said, I don't have notifications on, so I never see anything. Jess, what's up? How you doing? this is going to be a really good firing. I think the soda firing is going to be really nice too. I kind of wish we could just do it in one day. It's not my kiln though, so I don't get to make decisions like that. I think we could get the exact same results in 12 hours instead of 28 hours, because we do a really long campfire. But again, it's not my kiln. Um, I've voiced my opinion, but it's not relevant in that. It's always, decision of the person who owns it is always the one to go for. Nice. Out of your air dry clay, how'd it come out? Hmm. Oh yeah, 100%. I think using your non-damage. I mean, I told you guys that I turned left-handed except for pottery stuff a couple years ago. So I do everything else in my life left-handed. Um, the pottery, I already spent enough time in here. I really don't want to spend more. So um, I don't. If this was a hobby, I would learn how to do it left-handed. But since it's a job, I'm not doing it. I do it enough to know how to teach it, but that's to the extent of it. Cool. I'm on the Discord. I joined a couple days ago. I just don't look at the supplies. My Discord name's my dog's name. That's cool. Yeah, that totally makes sense. Using the other side of the brain smart. Jess, I'm good. I did not get enough sleep last night, and I'm not sleeping tonight at all. I just made my bed in my car. I sleep in my car when I fire this kiln. Um, and when I say sleep, I mean I get 30 minutes for 7 hours. 30 minutes of sleep every for 7 hours straight. I just rotate between getting out of my car and looking at the kiln and making sure everything's up and turning on burners and blah 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 blah, all that fun stuff. It sounds like I have to teach tennis inside today, which is fine. Not my ideal, but I wanted to teach the kids serving anyway, and it doesn't really matter if it's inside or outside. So, hmm, interesting. Yeah, I think it's nice to switch things up and just use whatever feels right. I really like the opportunity that it gives you to relearn how to do anything. I'm a better tennis player left-handed now than I am right. Excuse me, let me rephrase that. I'm a I'm better at topspin with my left hand than I am with my right hand. My right hand still is better at slice and serving, but I purposely did not teach my left hand how to slice. So if I want to slice, I just switch hands. But oh yeah, oh yeah. I really wish I could take a nap. It'd be great if I could just take a nap after this. But right after we finish here, I'm gonna go make that video, that April Fool's video in the woods. I'm gonna make two of them. I'll make one that's like this and one that's like that for Instagram and for YouTube, or maybe just one as a short or a reel or whatever they call them here. I just wiped glue all over my arm. That's cool. Love that. Love that for me. Okay, okay, guys, this is looking good. So I have this little jar that it's unglazed, and I have this little turtle. Maybe we'll just do this little turtle next. This is my turtle whistle. Hmm. I think the pickleball is great. I think everything's great. So here's my thing is that I do everything sport wise for fun. And I hate competition with a passion. I think it detracts from the game. Um, you want to have competition with yourself. That's different than having competition with someone else. And so I like pickleball as long as everybody is competing with themselves and not being a dick, you know? Okay, there's our orange turtle whistle. It's broken, so it'll stay with me unless someone decides they want it. But it'll be for cheap because it's like not great. What's up, Garden? How are ya? You snuck in here. How you feeling today? Um, we need to do our little teapots. We're gonna do a few shells if I have shells. Do I have any small shells with me? Oh, this is something we might do too. Someone sent me this seaweed ash. I meant to put this on when things were wet, but we might sprinkle some there. Um, we might sprinkle in some seaweed ash to some stuff just for extra juiciness. If you want a fake wood ash, just throw some ash on it. I don't know. People who are wood firers are weirdly like against that for some reason. I'm sorry, not like professional people who do wood firing. People who do wood firing non-professionally think it's cheating. But whatever, whatever. Okay, so we got some shells. We need 3 shells. We need 6 shells, and then actually we'll do a couple more shells. So shells are just calcium carbonate, and you can use them in lieu of wadding. You just have to fill them with wadding so they don't break. But the cool thing is that calcium at a very high temperature, if you put it in water, it just dissolves. So you can have a really cool shell pattern that just disappears. Actually, I wonder if I have an example in here. I have some fishies in here that were probably maybe side fired. No, they were not. I guess I sold all those. Never mind. So what we're gonna do, sounds good, Jess. Yeah, so the seaweed, someone just sent me that seaweed ash, this guy who made these cool sculptures and all that. And then if you go down and get shells, what you really want are scalloped shells. You want the pattern. You can use anything, but if you want the look, you want the striations in this. Otherwise, you won't see anything. It'll just be like a blob. You may as well have just used, um, later, Raven, good luck. You may as well have just used wadding instead. So all I'm going to do for these shells, take out of my chunk, throw in some goop, glop it there. So I've just glued that down. So now it's just a full shell. And I think, so the idea is I made these like little pendants. One of them is for someone who usually watches this all the time, but I haven't heard from her in a bit. Sharp. And originally I made this butterfly pendant necklace, which will shrink a bunch and I think it'll be kind of cute. But she said it was too big for her. So I made another one that has kind of a fat head, but it's a little guy. And I'm going to fire these upside down on seashells, I think, or right side up. Do I want to fire them upside down right now? I'll fire them upside down on seashells if I can. So let me see how I would do that. And I guess the benefit of us not firing right this second is that I have some opportunity to just futz with placement and things like that. Yeah, easy. Easy peasy. So just so you guys can see, in the kiln, I'm not going to actually glue these together because it's kind of ridiculous. I'm just going to put the 2 shells like that, and this will sit on top. and then it'll have a shell pattern on its back, and then the glaze can just be kind of melted off and dissolved away. So I think so too. I hope she likes it. Like I said, the small one's for her, the big one's up for grabs. So I said, she did not like the big one I made. It was just too big. I didn't think it was that big. It's going to shrink pretty much 3/4 of an inch in every dimension. So that's going to be pretty small. But, who am I to say what's what? So again, I'm just shoving my shelves with wadding. Now, if you don't do this, and then just put this in the kiln, this thing will just crumble apart. So you need the structural integrity of the wadding to have this effect. And you can do this in an electric kiln. You can do this in a wood kiln, soda kiln. It makes the loading process a little bit more tedious, so I don't really tend to do it that often. I'm going to try to do 3 shells for this one just to see what happens. I didn't like how that one was sitting. Sweet. Easy. So bring this guy up for you guys so you can kind of see. But again, these 3 seashells are going to sit like that. This is going to be fired on top like that. Yeah, it's a great way. Calcium is a sweet one. It just burns away, not burns away, but it just dissolves away in the firing. So it's a nice one that you can do. The seaweed ash doesn't do any different looks than the like a wood ash, so there's really no reason to do it. Like I said, I was gifted a bunch of seaweed ash, so I throw it into stuff every so often. Maybe we'll just do a little sprinkle in here and there. Let me just move you guys down just for half a second. Just gonna sprinkle seaweed ash everywhere. What I really like to do is throw it on the pots when they're wet. I would do this on the outside of these, but nothing's going to stick because they're too dry already. So this will essentially, so ash, you guys probably know this, but the reason that wood ash makes things glossy is that while trees are growing, or whatever the plant is that's growing, it is, hi, welcome back, is that when a tree's growing, it's absorbing the minerals that are in the soil around it and things like that. And so you get these really minor amounts of minerals that are in the in the wood itself. And so you just take a piece of wood, you throw into an electric kiln or whatever kiln, you're going to have a glossy spot where that piece of wood was. And so this is kind of just doing the same thing. It's just going to add an extra little bit of juice. Now I was going to do this shell thing for this piece, which is kind of interesting. This is our half cup that, of course, Luna, we're always talking about you. I was going to fire this on shells. I just kind of wanted to show what the walls looked like after they were glaze fired, because those will be smaller than this after it's been glaze fired. What I really should have done is had 2, one where it was glazed and one was not, so it kind of shows the shrinkage rate, but I was not foresightful enough to do such a thing. So I'm good. I'm glad, Sydney. I think I'm going to fire this thing on 3 shells. And because then I can it'll be another reason to demonstrate. I was kind of been going back and forth on what I actually want to do with that, but I think that's the move. So I'll just fill in 3 shelves with wadding and glue so they're stuck and good. And let me just make sure they actually balance in case I need another one. A pottery bake-off? What are you saying exactly? Okay, it fits perfectly. Do you mean making pottery thing? So if you're making clay, something that a lot of people used to do is to speed up the maturity process is they would either pee in the clay body, in the plunger to help speed up that that maturity, or they would put a beer in because of the yeast, um, to help kind of move that clay along and add some plasticity. So I poured beer in clay that I'd made in the past, back in the day when I used to make clay. Not so much of a clay maker these days. But yeah, could have our own great pottery throwdown. US based. Be nice to have a great pottery throwdown in the States. I mean, I don't think I would be eligible for such a thing, but it'd still be fun to have. Okay, so that's going to dry for a second. Now what we need to do are our small teapots and our little cup earrings. And then I have this jar over here that I didn't do anything to. Um, so we'll see. I don't know. How's my head? I don't know. All over the place, Luna. Oh God. Tried to do some handstands today, which I probably was not a smart move, but I'm kind of going a little crazy and need to do some things. And the handstands are great. It's getting into them are painful. Because my body's hip, the bending still is not great. That sounds lovely. Do you like that jar? Oh, I didn't see that part. Yeah, good. Yeah, fair. Okay, well, we'll fire that jar without any glaze on it, things like that. Maybe we'll side fire it on some dots, you know. But we're gonna first glaze our little teapots. Oh, man, gonna fall over and die soon. Jeez, we got our little teacups and some of our teapots. Honestly, a little worried that they are going to um, fall over in the kiln, but more little teapots. Oh, cats! That sounds like something. That sounds like something a cat would do. All right, I'm gonna just take a little bit of this out. It's probably all I need. Wrap up the rest of my burrito thing. Oh wait, no wait, we need more if we're gonna side. Whatever. I just want this out of my way for a second. Okay, so these ones we're gonna make like small little dots. Yeah, totally fair. Yeah, they are just like an easy version of a teapot. The problem is whenever I'm making a jar, I'm like, why not just make a teapot? You just need an extra two things, and then you can charge triple the amount. So, what kind of cat do you have, Luna? All right, we're gonna hope for the best on these. Honestly, I'm a little skeptical that they'll survive, but I like I was saying last night when we were glazing them, I'm gonna put them um, further back so they aren't gonna be as juicy, um, right? They're not gonna be as juicy, but They are going to be less likely to fall over. That is my real name, Luna. No reason for me to lie about that. I know. Well, whenever I make a tea jar, they're never big enough for the amount of tea that I want to put in them. I mean, sometimes they are. I guess I have kept over some tea jars over the years that I'm really pleased with. Um, just a few. All right. Later, Luna. See you next time. So I was talking to you guys about this wadding with this new kaolin, and this new kaolin is really nice for the reason that it grinds off really easily. The downside is that it does fall apart really easily. So when I'm loading things into the kiln, um, there's a lot of chance that a pretty good chance that things are just going to um, be an issue and break. So I will be doing a lot of rewadding as we load the kiln, which is why I end up just sitting there swearing all the time. It's not because I don't mind loading the kiln. I actually really love loading kilns. The problem is that it's just things are constantly just like falling apart while I'm doing it, and it just makes my life awful. Like really, really, really awful. And that is my one downside to this particular kind of wadding, but it is worth it because it grinds off so much easier than EPK. I'm curious how well it grinds off, because I'm curious. I'm so excited for these pendants. Hopefully they sell okay. So these are going to be $150 um, each. And my normal teapots are going to go up in price to probably like 150 or 175. Maybe more. I don't know. I guess it just depends on how nice they are. But I've been lowballing my prices for many years for the sake of the accessibility, and I'm just um, I just can't afford to do that anymore. So, oh, also I tried to set up a Patreon to figure out to like have people reserve stuff, and I can't really figure it out totally. Um, and what I might do instead is just do the Instagram thing, a subscription on Instagram, because like it'd be easier for me to do a stories to just subscriber only. But I need to see how much money they take. Like I figured out that here, revenue, YouTube takes 50% of ad revenue, which is fine, and then they take 30% of gift revenue. Hmm. Yeah, right. Good. I'm glad to hear that. So anyway, that's I just need to do some more research before this firing actually happens, just so I can kind of solidify something. Um, the the uh, Patreon takes 5% apparently. So Yeah, YouTube takes 30%. And I didn't know this until yesterday. I was trying to do some research on it. I thought it was less. I thought they only took like 10% or something, which still kind of would be high, but 30 is a lot. But yep, it's just trying to find those balances in doing the research, and you know, it's a learning process. All right, so we're gonna just side fire these mugs. So they're just gonna sit like this. And they're gonna require a lot of grinding, but there's nothing I can do about that. Will do. Yeah, I don't have any more time today. Because I need to like rest. Um, After I'm done teaching, I need to rest. And so I'm probably gonna try to disconnect from pottery related things and business related things, and then um, once I've kind of recovered, I'll come back and try to figure it out. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just do like a little primary what's the word I'm thinking of? Preliminary research. That's what I'm trying to say on cost of things. So okay, so next thing we need to do is I saw when I came in here, one of my waddings exploded on the bottom here. So we're gonna re-wad this guy. Cool. Okay, now we're gonna side fire this guy. And the question is, would you guys like shells side fired, or would it be better just to have like 3 big dots? What would you prefer to see? I'm kind of leaning towards shells. I think that'd be kind of nicer. Curious what your thoughts though. I don't remember what the fees were. I tried to stream on Twitch many years ago. Um, but I feel like they took a pretty high percentage as well. I don't really want to go back to Twitch either. It's too like gaming oriented, you know? And this lid will just get 3 balls and fired separately. And then once we do this, I think that's it. Oh wait, no, there's one more thing that I want to wad that may or may not come out nice. It's the broken whistle. Uh, I don't know if I showed you guys it or not. This is what's left of the whistle. Let me go grab it. So this is what happened to it. Now it looks like a blobfish. So I think I'm gonna fire it still because it's kind of like a weird amorphous being. Um, Kind of too bad that it fired like that, but it is what it is. think what we're gonna do is just why are you doxing yourself, man? Never smart to do. Cool. So now we have our blobfish. Okay, I think let me just take a quick look around, but I think we've done everything. So, okay, here, you know what? We're gonna do a few more. These are pieces that are unglazed, but we're just in the spray zone of um these were like we weren't sure we wanted to do something like this, but oh yeah, cool. They're kind of cool, right? We're gonna just glaze the not glaze them, but we're just gonna wad them. And I have these two teapots over here. You guys are gonna say you like them, and so then I'm gonna feel obligated to fire them. Um, so let's take a look at a second. But I don't want to put any glaze on them or anything like that. But we'll put wadding on them, just in case. I want some stuff just in case um, things we don't have enough space in the kiln. These are just kind of like a backup plan. That happens to me pretty often. Is that I think I make enough stuff, but I don't. I think we're pretty good though on gloop. Yeah, exactly. It's these are literally like backup thermal mass stuff, Joyce. Right? Can't go wrong with a good gloop. Did you ended up didn't join not joining it, Garden? I can't talk today clearly. That's the other reason we're making the that horn though. Yeah, we got a couple of them that make sound like that, which will be nice. What am I doing? I guess I can just leave this here. All right, here are, okay, I lied. So here are the things that are left. These are the last three things that we could potentially wad. I haven't put any glaze on them. I haven't done any of that kind of stuff. Um, I'm glad I could. So we got this top handled teapot that I think is really dumb. Um, I had this idea of a piece of wood. So, we'll wad it just cuz. But this is just like if we need extra space. I'm not going to be firing this unless we have to. I do remember that, Jess, and then you took it back after I said your name. You rescinded your $1,000. Very disappointing. And because of that, I'm just going to float the lid on these, and I'll show you guys what that means. But this just means pretty much I'm doing it this way because then I won't just like randomly fire one of these lids. So I don't need them to be fired, and I don't want to fire them unless they are going to serve some kind of purpose. So you float your lid like that on some wadding. So it's just sitting on three pieces of wadding on the gallery itself. And then everything is going to be the same color. Exactly. And that's why I'm not sending you anything after you doxed yourself, man. There's this piece. So I went on a couple dates with someone, and she made this, and then I'm kind of worried about her. She like told me her ex was a stalker and stuff like that, and then she was like gonna reach back out to me, and then she just like disappeared, deleted all of her social media, um, all this kind of stuff. So it's kind of scary. I'm thinking about firing it for her still, but like I have a feeling I'm never gonna hear from her again. So I don't think there's any real reason to. Hopefully she's okay though. The problem with Sue is I didn't know her well enough to like follow up on anything to make sure she's like okay. So I don't know what to do about that one. Hopefully I hear from her, even if it's like a year down the line and everything was okay. Just to be like, hey, I'm okay. That's all I want. Nothing else. Okay, so we have this mug as well. It's really stupid looking, but we're gonna just throw a little bit of wadding on its feet. Just in case we need extra thermal mass. Nice. Okay. All right, let me take one more look around the studio, see if there's anything we can fire. Oh, there's this cup. Oh, it broke. So thank you, Garden. I appreciate that. I made this like weird cup where it was like I broke it up into bits and then put it back. I appreciate that, Garden. Um, the thing is that there's a hole here, otherwise I would fire it. But I thought it was kind of a cool thing. Is there anything else in here that needs to be dealt with? I don't think so. I think we're good. All right, let me show you guys. It's an absolute mess in here, so just I apologize for it. Um, Also, sometimes my front-facing camera doesn't work. This is my old phone, so we're gonna try to make work. If it doesn't, let me know. All right, all wadded. Students, or this actually not. This is a friend of mine. Wadded, spare wadding, all wadded, all wadded, all wadded. Student of mine, and yeah, I think that's gonna be everything in the kiln. Um, I'm not entirely sure, but and just as like I'm actually kind of just kind of curious. The kiln usually holds around 150 pieces. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 20. Would that count? Yeah, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 46, 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60, 62, 64, 66, 68, 70, 72, 74, 76, 78, 80, 82, 84, 86, 88, 90, 92, 94, 96, 98. Okay, I personally have 98 pieces made that we made together, which is pretty cool. And then on top of that, we have, so I have 98 pieces, so that's 100, 102, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40. So we have 140 pieces prepped, ready to go for this firing. That's going to be fine. And that didn't include the few pieces that are just like the thermal mass pieces, nor the giant pieces in the back of the kiln, like the whistles and the sculpture, because that then puts us up to 42, 44, 45. So we have 145 pieces. And that doesn't include, oh, that doesn't include teapots or mini teapots. If we're going to include that, then we got 46, 8, 50, 52, 4, 6, 8, 72, 4, 6. So we have 176 pieces that we made over the last month that we made, glazed, wadded, and ready to fire. Layer Garden, thanks for hanging out. And that's it. So the next step, which I am not going to do today, is I need to start loading the kiln. So it's going to take us, probably with my back, it's probably going to take us 2 days to load, because I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to hurt myself. And so we're going to take our time while we're loading. And the issue that we have right now is that it is, it's supposed to rain. Tomorrow is not supposed to rain, but I can't load tomorrow because I'm going to be exhausted from firing a kiln. So I don't really know what we can do about that. But we have 178 pieces ready to be fired. So what's up, Script? And yeah, that's not too bad, eh? Not too bad for a month's worth of work. Okay, that's it. I'll come back on a live when we start loading, which I don't know when that'll be. So it's just going to be like this morning where I was just kind of like randomly here. Oh man, Mr. Smarty Pants over here. Good luck. God, I was so bad at math. All right, I'm gonna head off. I gotta go teach tennis soon, and just not be in here. So I'll randomly go live at some point when there's a brief period of sunlight, and yeah. Okay, bye.